Hey guys, it's Yishan here. Today I am with my good friend Kyle, who has his crazy deck profile. Some people call it the Spice. Kyle's been calling it BART, which stands for. You know what? Well, why don't I let you tell me what it stands for, Kyle? And if you could at the same time introduce yourself, that would be great.
Yeah. Hey guys, my name's Kyle. Most of you know me. So over the last couple of months, I've been theory crafting a list that I saw from the OCG. So I've been like taking bits and pieces of what I saw from over there and putting in some of my own text, my hand trap choices, and came up with this 60 card pile of mess that over the last couple of days I've been calling BART, which stands for Birds, Ancient Warriors, Rescue Cats, and Tri-Brigade. So this is my 60 card pile for Tri-Brigade.
Yep. So if you've got if you've got indecision syndrome, like I know many Yu-Gi-Oh players have, and you don't know, should I go Rescue Cat? Should I go Birds? Should I go Ancient Warriors? Should I go? Well, here we go. This is not pure, but if you're deciding between those three, why not just play all three? That's Kyle's solution. So this looks like a pretty wacky deck, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. The main reason I decided to play this is because I was getting so bored with the zoo version and pure, but I also didn't just want to play Birds because I felt like it was just getting stopped by too much.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one day I was on Road of the King or whatever it's called, and saw that this was topping in the OCG. So I was like, maybe I can find some of the deck lists. I was able to find them. So I was like, how can I turn this into something we can play? Just took a little bit of adjustments, but this is basically what I've finalized over the last couple of months and has been doing semi-decent, for me at least, topping locals here and there, but also main reason we're making deck profiles, I won a giant card with this last weekend, which was pretty exciting.
Was it Diviner of the Heralds? The giant card?
No, I wish it was Diviner the Heralds. It was Arcana Triumph Joker.
Arcana Triumph Joker.
Which I guess it's still cool because it's like one of those old retro retrains, but not Diviner.
Okay, well,
but it'll still look cool.
Yeah, why don't you take us through this this deck? Some might call it an abomination, some might call it a work of art. Let's take a
little
look.
bit of both. Okay, so first off, we got the Tri-Brigade cards. Since we are playing 60, we're just playing three of all of them. Because honestly, you don't really care which ones you draw. The only one that I guess you don't want to draw by itself is Karis. But since this is like a 60 card mega combo deck, being able to just draw Karis is nice because it'll be an extender. So we got just the 3 Fractal, 3 Karis, 3 Kit, 3 Nerve Ball. Probably wouldn't change those ratios. Since they're the most needed cards in the deck. After that, we got the next engine. We got Birds. So for my Birds, I only play 3. So I play 3 Turquoise, which is standard, and then I only play 1 Cobalt, 1 Sapphire. You don't really want to draw Sapphire or Cobalt. You can send them. You play Fractal Foolish, 10 keys. There's ways to get to them. If you draw Cobalt, it's fine because you can there's still combos where Cobalt comes up. Really don't want to draw Sapphire, but since it is 60 and you need to be able to have space for other things, one of each of the other 2 birds is perfectly fine. And then my Ancient Warriors, I play 3 Masterful Sunmount, and for some of y'all that don't really know what the Ancient Warriors do, Masterful Sunmount lets you send any card from your field or hand to the graveyard to search any Ancient Warrior monster, and then if another Ancient Warrior monster effect is activated, you can bounce a monster on your opponent's side of the field back to their hand. So for the purposes of this deck, Masterful Sunmount is basically a budget version of Rescue Cat. So you have basically 6 of them, because with Masterful Sunmount, you're basically going to just set up a Link 2, fill your grave, and then have your Tri-Brigade stuff to keep playing. So whether that means setting up Appaloosa, Revolt, some Orc Statue, Oath combos. There's quite a lot of things you can do with Sunmount. He's put in so much work in testing.
Yeah, this card seems like the primary Ancient Warrior card. I had a question for you about the Ancient Warriors, actually.
Yeah.
So basically, this guy, the blue one searches the green one, which then specials itself if it's added by the blue one.
Yes.
And then, so what link are you usually making here? Are you usually making, because you can hard make the Ancient Warriors, which then lets you search another one.
Yes. So it honestly depends whether I'm going first, I'm going second, what's in my hand, what's in my graveyard. There's so many factors that depend on what you're gonna do. So, like, if I have the setup to keep playing and go into Fairjet and do my combo, that's usually what I'm trying to strive towards. But say you're going second, I would rather go from Sun Mao Zhukong into Double Dragon Lords, and then you can search Lu Fang, special Lu Fang, then go into Fairjet. Because if you have a Tri-Brigade, you can then special summon the Tri-Brigade, go into Shureg, and usually you can OTK with just the Sun Mount and Tri-Brigade.
I see.
Which Rescue Cat can also do going second. Rescue Cat by itself is also a technical one card OTK. You have the discard, but discard a couple cards. But yeah, so the Ancient Warrior stuff just real good going first or second. I mean, to be fair, Zhukong and Lu Fang are kind of both. I don't want to say they're bricks, but you can still play if you draw them. It's not like you're like, oh wow, my hand sucks now, which I will get to why you'll still be able to play later in the profile. But it's not the end all be all if you end up drawing Zhukong or Lu Fang.
Okay.
And then after that, we just got some generic beast stuff. Obviously, I play 3 Rescue Cats. So since we're playing 60, as many 1-card combos as I can shove into this deck is real good.
Yep.
Rescue Cat, I mean, most of the time, let's be honest with ourselves, Rescue Cat's probably not going to resolve. If it does, you're probably going to win. But even if it doesn't resolve, it gets rid of a hand trap, and hopefully you still have other things to extend with, which most of the time you do. But it's just Rescue Cat's real good. And then I play 1 Barrier Statue and 1 Apex, because I do play some Org in my extra deck. Statue just wins too many games not to play. Like, honestly, if you can just fractal into Statue some more Rendezvous, 90% of the time you're gonna win. Because on the follow-up, if they can't out that statue, you OTK them.
Yeah.
The Nerval that you summon off of the Smorg is just OTK. And then, like, Apex, if you know what you're playing against, is, like, sometimes infinitely better than Statue. Like, if you're playing against a back row deck or, like, Striker, I would 100% rather just summon this Apex. Because it's big, they can't target it, and it's just a negate. Which comes in handy sometimes a lot more than that Statue will. And then it's behind the hand traps, but I also play this other level 1 called Watch Cat. So I got the inspiration for this from the Tri-Brigade group. I don't remember who posted it, but someone posted it, and I said, oh, I'm going to try that. It's a level 1. You control no monsters, it just special summons itself. So it's another free body like Warbler is. And then during your end phase, if it was special summon, you can banish it to set a continuous spell directly from your deck. So if you completely bricked and had no other options, at least it's going to banish itself, set a 10 key, and you'll be able to play next turn, hopefully. Hasn't really come up doing that, but the one time I did, it was fine. It's usually just for the extra body.
Yep.
And then it's also for another card I play, but we'll get to that in a little bit. And then I play quite a bit of going second hand trap type cards, because playing 60, so I kind of got the same theory of, like, when people are playing Dragon Link and playing 60 cards, like 45 just engine cards, combo cards, extenders, and then like maybe 15 going second cards I can just make it so your opponent can't play, and then you get to follow up and kill them. So I play 3 Gammas and the Driver. I mean, you would think that you wouldn't draw Driver as much because you're playing 60. You still do. It sucks when you do, but nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
But the feeling of gammaing an Ash or like a Droll is like no other.
It does feel good.
Such a thrill.
It does feel
good. It doesn't happen as much as I would like it to anymore, but when it does, it's a high. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I play 3 Ash Blossom. It's just the best generic hand trap. There's no reason not to play Ash Blossom if you're playing this many hand traps. Play 1 DD Crow. DD Crow is searchable. That is why I'm playing it at 1, because worst case it's searchable. It can also be discarded off Karis. You can special summon it off Fairjet and make a Samorg if they literally stopped everything else. It comes up. And then I played 2 Bell. I went back and forth on this for a while. I used to play 2 Droll in my main deck, but I went into Bell mostly for like the invoked matchup and also for like enemy revolts.
Yep.
Bell also hasn't come up as much as I'd like it to, but I mean, when it does, it's really good. It's just, it feels like it's becoming less and less that it's actually going off.
Yeah, it can be dead sometimes. I mean, it can be really, really good, or just sort of sit in your hand for the whole game. I feel like, which is
awful.
Which is awful. Yeah, the hand trap lineup is tough. I mean, obviously you got Imperms. There's maybe Veiler, Droll. They all seem to have their weaknesses, so it's hard to choose.
It's like either way, you're probably going to have a hand trap in your deck that's going to do nothing in a matchup. You're just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then I also played 2 Imperm. Imperm's just kind of crazy again, which is, I like that. Yeah. I think Imperm's a cool card, so it's cool that it's coming back into relevancy. So spell card wise, I played 3 Tenki, one of the best consistency cards in the game. There's no reason not to play Tenki, especially in this deck since you play. I mean, there's technically 7 cards you can search off it. There's only 6 that you really want to search, but there's just so many options for Tenki that it just makes it so much better.
Yep.
Played 3 Prosperity. When I was first crafting this, I was thinking about playing Desires just to have the raw card advantage. But in counting, I played 12 one-ofs, and half of them are needed to not get banished from your deck. And Prosperity is just crazy because most of the time you don't even really need it to like fix your hand. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna dig 3 and see which piece I'm gonna pull from the top of my deck that's gonna make them have to use another hand trap in this hand that's already pretty good. And like worst case, it can grab another hand trap if your hand's already like pretty good. And then I play 3 Tri-Brigade Airborne Assault. This is something not a lot of people have been playing, and it's actually quite crazy, especially in my deck. It's literally just a nutty extender.
Yeah, so if they stop to try this card for sure. Actually.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. If they stop any of your main plays, you're gonna just keep going.
I want to try this card.
It's also why I play Watch Cat, because you have to So Airborne Assault says you have to target a beast, warrior, wing beast you control, and then special one from your deck with a different type and equal to or less than attack. So if you drew Nerval in Airborne Assault, there really wasn't anything you were summoning. So it's kind of just dead, which is why I play Watch Cat, because Watch Cat is a level 1 beast with 0 attack. So you can special summon it by targeting Nerval, or vice versa, you can target Watch Cat with Airborne Assault and special Nerval, which is really good. I also played 2 talents. I only have 2. Probably would play 3 if I had a third one, but this card's real nutty in this deck because most of the time the first hand trap does not matter. So if you have this and they stop something, you're just ripping another card and setting up your board however you want to because you know they can't interrupt it.
Yeah, I want to play this card. I just don't have it. This card seems pretty good.
There's times where I draw 2. It's nowhere near the amount of times that I look at your hand to rip a card out of it. It's just so much more impactful.
Yeah, it's very powerful, that mode.
And then my slate of 1 of spells, I play a Duster. I have 60 cards. Might as well play a Duster because if I'm playing against background, I draw it. Sucks for them, and it makes them feel even worse that I'm playing 60 cards and drew a Duster. So I might as well play it. And it makes it so I don't have to just scoop to Mystic Mine. I mean, most of the time I don't have to scoop to Mystic Mine anyway because I have 60 cards. They can't just sit there.
True.
They're going to have to play eventually, or I'm going to win.
True.
But but it's just one of those sacky one-ups that if you draw it, okay. If you don't, okay. Does not really matter. And I play one Call by the Grave. Kind of needed in your combo deck. Don't want to get stopped by some crazy hand trap that's going to shut down your whole turn. Then I play 1 for 1. Since I do play the bird stuff, 1 for 1 is a 1-card combo. It also is an extender. It's real good. There's no reason not to play 1 for 1. 1 for 1's kind of always been nutty. Might as well play it.
Yep.
Foolish Barrel. It's my 4th fractal. There's no reason not to play more fractals.
Especially in 60.
Because
yeah. Why not?
And if they stop your fractal and you have Foolish Barrel, it makes them feel real bad when you activate the Foolish Barrel.
True.
And then I play Rendezvous, kind of a brick. There's been a couple of games where I've won because I had drawn it though. So I don't even
surprise some
sometimes
people.
I can't even call it a brick because it's like I have to make a Samorg without. There's been times where I've had to like make a Samorg without kit or anything, and then I drew the Rendezvous anyway, and then they just attack my statue and I flip it and damage step and they lose their monster and my Rendezvous is still in my graveyard. So, I mean, it is a brick, but it's also, once again, most of the bricks in this deck you can still play and you'll be totally fine. Then I played the 1 Monster Reborn. This card really doesn't come up as much as I thought it would, but like when it does, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
What I mean, it's pretty nutty. Like if they like Valor your Rescue Cat, you can just go into Almirage and then Monster Reborn Rescue Cat and do it again.
Like that is pretty crazy. Actually, I've never thought about that. That is pretty funny.
It's pretty funny when the way they look at you when you Monster Reborn your Rescue Cat, and then they're like, "Well, I thought that would work."
That is pretty good, actually. That is pretty good.
And then trap cards. Obviously, I played the 2 impermanents. I touched on that a little earlier. I do play the 1 Oath. Also kind of a brick. Also not a brick. You obviously it will stop Dark Ruler if you can do the combo, which a lot of people think it's just the Warbler Fractal. I can set up Oath with 90% of my deck.
Yeah.
This card, like, if I want to set it up, it's getting set up. I've tested it enough to where most of my hands will set this card up if I want to.
Okay, I have a question for you.
It's not as hard. Yeah.
Have you ever searched Oath or Rendezvous off Bearbroom?
No.
Okay. Not okay, because you can technically, but I've never seen anyone do it.
Mean,
I figured I'd ask you because it looks like you have the choice in this deck.
Maybe one day it will come up, but no.
Okay.
Okay. It just feels off. It feels slightly awful, I think, to have to search one of those 2 cards.
Yeah, Bearbroom is like you already have to put a card back, so you really want to search something super high impact.
What is funny though is drawing Oath has won me quite a bit of games. There's been games where like I've completely bricked, but with just like a Nerval and some trap cards and some hand traps. But like I could set up my graveyard with Nerval and Fractal, set my Oath with the Almirage, and then like just one game, I top of my head, I like standby phased Oath, brought back Nerval, and then when they Shaddoll Fusion, I can just Almirage, and then it like fizzled the Shaddoll Fusion. So, but also it lets you play around Dark Ruler if you draw it, because if they Dark Ruler you and you have double Dragon Lords, whenever they commit a monster, you could send statue, Oath, bring back statue.
Right. Yep.
Also doesn't come up crazy, but like it's really good if you draw it and have full combo, because then you could send Rendezvous. You don't have to waste the negate on like a Lightning Storm or something, and then you still have the Oath negate.
Yep.
Because like it feels bad having to like waste your negate on like a Lightning Storm, and then your opponent just going, okay, Dark Ruler, evenly matched. Then you're kind of just like, wow, wish I didn't have to use that Oath on that Lightning Storm.
Yeah. I feel that.
And then the last 2 traps I play in the deck are Revolt. Revolt's a nutty card. We're not gonna lie. I was talking to Yishan about this before this video. I'm very much convinced, and y'all can argue with me all you want about this. Revolt will not be legal forever. It's going to get hit, whether that be at 1 or 0. It will not be at 3 for that much longer.
Well,
Because
yeah,
if you think about
there's a couple ways to hit the deck, but sure, yeah, it's
yeah,
possible.
because
It's possible.
if you think about it, all the other cards are fair. If you hit any of the monsters in the main deck, you ruin the deck. Like the cards are not broken, and like when you consider other archetypes that are on the ban list, or even archetypes that we still have that are playable right now, it's not that broke. They're not that broken. Revolt is pretty broken, and it's a ruling nightmare. So it's just easier to just get it out of the way, and no one needs to talk about it ever again.
Yeah. Well,
the only problem is I do see a lot of people not playing the deck if Revolt gets hit.
Yeah, well, how are you considering running 3? I mean, because you could run 3 in this deck. Probably you could find the space.
Okay, I could run 3. The problem is there are times where you do not want to see it. That's not like it's not the main point of your deck. For me, it's literally here. If my whole combo gets stopped, they're going to get punished by the Revolt that I either searched or I drew. Like, I don't care if I see it, and I don't care if I don't see it.
Okay.
Because if I really want to see it that bad, I'm just going to summon the Link 2 and search it.
Yep.
Like, honestly.
All right. Well,
but
it's a cool main deck.
That's it for my main deck. It's pretty, obviously not standard at all, but you can see my signature touch of 2 ofs, which is also an OCG thing. I think that's why I like their list so much and why I try to adapt them.
You like the variety.
I like the variety, which you're going to see in my side deck, because this is why people think I'm a cheater sometimes, because my side decks are so whack. And I'm so sorry, because when I draw my side deck, people get so mad because I'm playing 60. So in my side, I'm playing 2 Lancia still. I know a lot of people are not on Lancia right now, but Tri-Brigade is the most represented deck right now. There's no reason not to play Lancia. Yeah, they literally will pass.
This card's decent.
I can play through it.
This card's decent.
I can play through it with this. The standard deck will pass. Maybe they drew Revolt. Other than that, I still think Lancia is good. I do play 2 Nibs. It's such a niche card. There's not like a crazy amount of matchups it's good for, but the matchups where you need to side in Nib, you need to side in Nib. Like, it just has to be put in. Like, I don't want to go into another big event and lose to some random FTK deck ever again because I'm not playing Nib. Okay. It's happened too many times.
Okay.
And then I also side 2 Droll. These were in my main deck. Bells were not before. A couple of my friends convinced me to put Bell in instead just because of how it's more versatile. I don't know if I completely agree with that. I feel like Droll's still real crazy, especially since I do have one of those decks that can just follow up and kill you afterwards after I Droll you. But I don't know. It'll probably just be some more flip flop back and forth. Obviously, it's crazy because Drytron's in the meta right now, but that's honestly, that and Invoked are really the only things it's like super crazy against right now. So it's like it's a back and forth. My only 3 of in my side deck are these 3 Twin Twisters. This card is very crazy right now. Yeah, because most of the back row decks aren't really back row decks. They set 2 cards.
They do, and a lot of them can be used in like main phase. Yeah, or can only be used in main phase.
Yeah, so we got like Crank Kid setting 2 cards. Tri-Brigade might set 1 or 2, maybe 3 cards. Invoke Shaw only sets like 2 cards. Skyshaker's not really setting a whole bunch of cards anymore. So Twin's just real good, and especially in a deck like this where you can either trigger a piece that you're sending to your graveyard or put a piece in your graveyard that you want in your graveyard anyway. There's like for those reasons, I feel like it's better than something like Lightning Storm or Evenly Matched. Which there's one of the main reasons I don't even play Evenly Matched in this deck is because you're gonna get hard punted by a Lancia if they decide to put that in. And it does not feel good. And then Lightning Storm, like, it doesn't hit the problem spells and traps that are gonna activate anyways.
Right.
Because it's the main phase.
And the
super. So this is just really good.
Or not the super polys, the Crank Kids fusions. Yep.
Yeah, the Pandemoniums. Yep. And then I play 2 Dark Ruler. This card's also not that crazy. It's like fine. It's good. Honestly, so the OCG was maining Droplets. Droplets is also a good card. It's probably better than the Dark Ruler. I don't have Droplets, which is the main reason I don't play it. But there's matchups where Dark Ruler comes in. Sometimes against the Tri-Brigade variants, I'll put in like one of them just to. If I draw it, I draw it. If I don't really care. It's mainly in here so I don't auto Lucid Drytron. Maybe like random other decks because it's really good against Rogue. But yeah, it's not super crazy, but it does its job. And then I play the one Red Reboot. Also pretty sacky if I draw it, kind of like Duster. If I draw this one of in my 60 card deck, people get real angry and feel real bad.
It's true.
Which is nice because I'm playing 60 cards. I guess if I'm going to draw my one of, I might as well draw my one of. Along with my one of Importer, which I also have drawn on multiple occasions. Which also does not feel good for my opponent. But I also play 2 anti-spells along with that, so I just want to see some sort of spell protection when I'm siding to go first. Because if I can just set up any sort of spell protection, I probably will win the game. Because my board it'll be either Appaloosa with a Revolt or a statue that I'm going to just turn around OTK you with next turn.
Yep.
That's my side deck. My wacky 2 of side deck. It's just the standard for me.
Yep, just the norm, just the everyday norm.
Yep. And then my extra deck, we got the 1 Omega. Play Omega because Gamma. There's probably other things. You can probably play like some other random stuff, but you can play like Lambda. And the pure version plays Lambda. I play Omega because if you can just hit a hand shot with Gamma, you can try and hit another one with Omega, and then your turn's real easy.
It also gets a lot of concedes because like if you get the Gamma on your turn, and then like it's a game 1, and then you go for Omega, try to rip. Most people will just concede. They don't want you to rip a card from their hand, so you can see what they're playing.
It's just easy games.
Yeah.
And then I play the 1 Recital, combo piece for the bird stuff. Very self-explanatory. I do not play Assembled is the thing. There's no room.
Yeah, it's a bit tight in here.
I do still play Zeus.
This is interesting. I like it. I'm a fan.
Because there's been games where I just Recital into your defense monster and then send your whole field and I win the game. Like, and when I can do that, I'd rather do that than full combo because if I can just Zeus you and plus 1,000,000, that's fine. Because with Recital, we both take the damage anyway. So it's not like I'm going super neg to attack into your defense monster, which most people nowadays are putting a lot of their monsters in defense anyway. So there's going to be something for me to hit into.
Right, because of Lightning Storm.
Which is nice. Yeah. And sometimes you'll get real lucky and like they'll stop your Warbler, but you opened like Sapphire and a Wing Beast, so you can just make a 4 material Zeus, and then if they try to negate the Zeus, you can just Zeus in. Doesn't come up as much as I like. It's honestly, it's just gets banished off Prosperity 90% of the time.
Okay. All right.
Tri-Brigade monsters. This is pretty standard. 2 Shuriks. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I had a third one. But then I realize there's no room. I can't be wishing for a third one because I'm not ever going to play a third one.
Yep.
Rugal comes up. He helps you climb for access code and in the bird combo. Most of the time, you'd rather make him instead of Harris Voger so that you could have the Harris Voger for the follow-up just in case. So he does come up. 1 Fair Jet and 1 Bear Broom. Sometimes I miss a second Fair Jet.
Yeah.
But there's really no room.
But it's tight. There's
tight really
here.
not.
Yeah.
And Bear Broom is real good, but either way, because like a lot of people, when I bring up Bear Broom, complain about its first effect and talk about how bad it is, but no one likes to get into the conversation that it's literally the same economy as Karis. Like Karis, you're discarding 1, specialing the body, so that's 2 cards out of your hand. Bear Broom, you're discarding 2 to special banished. You're still losing 2 cards out of your hand.
Well, right. It's not bad. It's just that it doesn't. Sometimes like you need a lot of cards in your hand for like it's fine. It's I mean, why would you complain about it? It's free. It's icing on the cake, basically. It's not always good.
And it lets you special any of your banished. You don't even have to special a freaking Tri-Brigade.
True.
I can special Cobalt off of it and search, and then go into some Morg if I wanted to.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
And like you don't have to summon Karis off of it. You can summon a Nerval, which gets you into Samorg by itself.
Yep, true.
Instead of having to like
True.
Karis, go into Conductor, go into Samorg.
True.
At least if you discard 2 special Nerval, you can make a double Dragon Lords and then go into Samorg. So Fairham's pretty crazy. Also, the 2 Links 2s, being able to just double fix your hand if you wanted to is crazy. I don't think people give that enough credit. Like being able to Rescue Cat Appaloosa Revolt combo and like putting 2 bricks or 2 cards you don't really want to see back in your deck to search one and then hopefully draw something better is pretty good.
Yep. It is nice. It's very nice.
I play Almirage in this version. There's been like 1 or 2 times where I've like special Nerval and I've been like, wow, I really wish this was a Link Rebo. But other than that, Almirage is pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Rescue Cat going into Almirage, specialing off Monster Boy. That's pretty crazy.
It's pretty funny.
Most of the time, it's literally just to get Nerval or Kit into the grave, but even then, it's pretty crazy. I do play Conductor. Conductor makes Fractal one card protected statue. There's no reason not to play Conductor.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Make your 1 card combos happen. I got Double Dragon Lords. It's a staple.
Yep.
You could hard make it in this deck, so that's also funny.
Yeah, that feels nice.
Sometimes if I'm like under statue, I'll like search. I'll search for Sunmal with Tanky to search for Zoochkong because Zoochkong's a wind, and then Zoochkong will special himself, and then I'll hard make Double Dragon Lord, so I have the protection for statue. So it comes up in other ways than just banishing 2, making a Double Dragon Lords. Harris Fogre is still really crazy. There's been lots of games where Harris Fogre has won me the match by itself.
Yeah,
it's really good against Striker because you just attack or like try to out their Link, and then when they Ray, like if you can disrupt their Link monster before attacking, you can just chain the Harris Fogre to the Ray and just be like, well, I hope you have another one.
It's great against Drytron.
Yeah,
it's just
good against Drytron. Good against a lot of things. I mean, it's not good in the mirror, but
yeah, it also just kills people.
What are you gonna do?
So that's nice.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times where I've just been like, oh, this is 4,800 attack, and they're like, oh, what? Especially because most of the time, if they can't get through statue, they're not using monsters.
Yep.
And if they didn't hand trap you, this is 4,800 deck, like 90% of them. Some more. This is probably the craziest Link 3 in the game. This is another thing where I'm like, they could hit this, and I would be very sad because this card's real good. The problem is like there'd be so many Winged Beast decks that would be instantly awful if they did not have this card.
I mean, it's just if it sticks around, it's basically you're winning. That's sort of how you feel. Yeah. It's
great. The resources it generates is crazy. The second it lasts more than 1 turn, you've plus too much. And then I play Appaloosa. Appaloosa is real good. I mean, let's argue. It's a Link. It's a monster negates that you can bring out whenever you want because it's in your extra. And like Appaloosa Revolt in the mirror match is 90% of the time quite enough.
Yeah, it's a nice combo. Nice little combo.
Actually, you're against Drytron. A lot of the time, Appaloosa is an FTK, so might as well just bring it out. And then my last Link 4 is Access Code. For the longest time, I did not play Access Code, mostly because I did not own one, and it was expensive. Now it's even more expensive. It's like $140.
I know. I'm dying for this reprint on this card. Oh my god, please come on me.
But like the amount of times I've killed people with Access Code is uncanny. Like if I did not have it, most of my games would not have been as fast as they were. Like this card is crazy. Especially since like you can cheat it out so much easier than 90% of decks. You literally just go, I'm gonna banish 3 cards, and make an Access Code basically.
Yeah, this card is just good. I want one, but please reprint it.
Yeah, it's a little expensive. Luckily, I got mine when it was quite a bit cheaper. It wasn't cheap, but quite a bit cheaper than it is now.
Yeah.
It's the same with talents. Like I got my talents for cheap because I wanted to play them, and now they're like also $140, which is crazy because we have Megatins coming up. Everybody knows that. I don't know why these cards are so expensive.
We'll see. Hopefully they reprint them nicely in the Megatins, but you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll probably still be expensive, honestly, because the
hopefully
demand
they
is
get
there.
reprinted is the thing. Konami could always just be like, yeah, we're not reprinting those.
That would suck. That would suck.
Which would suck.
Yeah.
But there we go. That is my 60 card pile.
Okay. I mean, this is really cool. I think, this looks like something fun. Like, this looks like something, I'm going to take to my locals and just have a blast just messing with people with it.
Oh, it's definitely like so fun because not even just playing the deck, because playing the deck's real fun, but like the reactions from other people is just so funny. Because when they lose to it, they're like, what the heck? And then if you lose, you're like, it's fine. I was playing 60 card pile.
Exactly. Okay, well, thank you, Kyle. This is a really cool deck profile. I think a lot of people will want to try it out. I personally want to try out the Ancient Warriors because I haven't got really a chance to play around with those yet. And, of course, the Airborne Assaults. Those both look really enticing. But, yeah, other than that, thanks for coming on the channel. I know everyone's always excited when you come on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Any shout-outs to give before we wrap up this video?
I don't know. The OCG.
Shout out the OCG.
Let's just give a
shout out our OCG bros.
Big warm round of applause to the OCG because every time I've done big in an event, it's because I've crafted an OCG list. So thanks to the OCG.
Shout out to the OCG brother. And some people are just OCG players at heart. They were born in the wrong region.
I know.
They got 2-ofs, 60 card piles, random 1-ofs.
I'd be thriving over there if I was an OCG player.
Yeah. They would instead of calling you insane, they would call you normal over there, I think. So
I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next video.